make the plays, you were at least in position to make them, as opposed to receivers running wide open and breakdowns and all that.
Sure, that's a good way to look. That's a half-full way of looking at it.
Well,
We've had a couple of those this year. We just gotta, and I have all the confidence in the world they will, because I see them doing it in practice. So Tyrod launched it down the field on 3 different occasions. They were 50-50 balls. We didn't come down with it, and that's something that we have to improve, and we worked hard at. But like you said, there was no coverage blown. It's just making a play on the ball, and there are good players out there that should and will make them down the road.
Coach, how do you feel after 4 days, 3 days of practice? You feel all the corrections and
Yeah, it's good. The week before we had a Monday, but Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's not that much different than I'm used to, and our players have been great. Today's a day before we call it, and Fast Fridays, but yeah, I like our routine.
Is Trey Herndon on track
He
to play?
is next week.
Next
We're hoping next week. He won't play this week.
what were your impressions of the Broncos from a passing perspective? Granted, they don't have losing Jerry Jeudy's a blow for them, but in terms of what they were able to do against the Giants, also taking into account that they dropped a 50-yard touchdown pass as well.
Yeah, he's a good player. The guy that dropped the #1, we played against him when he was at Penn State fast. But Jeudy is a dynamic player, but they got good players all over the field, and Teddy Bridgewater did a very nice job last week against the Giants. So we just got to improve our back end of our defense and play against a good team.
I know you guys signed Manhurts as a blocking tight end, but has he been maybe a better receiver than you anticipated?
See, we thought he would be. We thought, he's a guy that didn't actually play college, didn't play high school, which is an amazing story. But he's a grinder, a worker. He's got good hands. He's a former basketball player, and he is an elite blocker, but we think he can be a very functional wide receiver.
Was it a surprise that, like, if you were going to pick a guy to catch Trevor's first touchdown pass, would you probably pick Manhurts? No?
I'm just glad he threw his first touchdown pass.
Do you have a mix you prefer, run pass? I mean, is there a ratio that you think is perfect for
I've always been a
today's game?
50-50 person. That's our goal. Those are sitting in 20 years of defensive meetings that you can stop the pass, you can stop the run, it's hard to stop both. So if you look at our best teams over the years, it was, our goal was always 250. And we had a few teams that were 250. And those usually won every game.
I know it's been a while since Charlie coached Teddy, but do you get it? Is he able to give any insight?
Yeah, we talked about him a little bit, and he shared some thoughts with the defense staff, mostly just respect of a player that he is, and things that he likes, maybe things he doesn't like, but there's a lot of respect for Teddy. Obviously, he won a lot of games for Charlie now.
Right.
A lot.
Caleb
And they're still very close, obviously.
Caleb missed that one tackle to Tyrod, but it seemed like he was in the backfield a lot. What are your thoughts on where he is and where he can go and how quickly?
Yeah, from my understanding, he's one of the most improved guys. He's a first-round draft pick that works his butt off. I really get and appreciate him. He's not where he needs to be, but you get there through one way, and that's working. So I got a lot of respect for the way he's going about his business.
You have the school out west and the school up north. Is that something that we'll hear about in here?
No, I'm still learning a little bit about this division. There's some good teams in this division, but I love that kind of stuff. But we're not there yet. We're just trying to win a game.
So, you might eventually do something like that? I think it would be kind of fun, to be honest with you.
So that's a yes?
Oh, I would love to do it. Yeah, absolutely.
Sure you would. That's a nice story.
Yeah.
Could you just talk a little bit about the issue with the holding calls early on in that game? I mean, 4 holding calls in the first 4 series is a big number.
Heartbreaking.
And Trevor was able to overcome 2 of them on the touchdown drive. There was 2 holding calls on the touchdown, but the other 2 also impacted your offense getting off the field. Just wondering from your perspective.
Obviously, that's something you work through in practice. There's, never going to challenge officials publicly, but we took a close look at the one on Linder that was, that was acceleration fee. We don't coach him much different than what he did. But holding penalties, that's the worst penalty. That's the second worst penalty in football. First being a hold or a block in the back on KOR. Holds just knock you out of rhythm. So it's just something we're addressing. We watch it closely. I mean, we turn it into the league and we get our results back and coach through it. It's going to be a challenge this week with those 2 ends.
I know you weren't here for all of it, obviously, but do you sense and they've lost 16 in a row.
Oh,
Do you
gosh.
get that sense in there that there's
No.
desperation? or
I can't
anything?
let that happen, and we can't let that happen, and no, we have, you know, when I made the decision to come here, I just really like the core players, I really do, and they deserve an opportunity to go win, and we're working our, you know, what's off to do that. And then we brought in some good free agents, and we drafted some good players, so no, we're not gonna fall into that trap.
How big of a challenge this is for your offensive line?
This week,
Yeah.
about as big as there is, you know, those two edge players, and, you know, they don't pressure a lot because they won't let the dogs eat, and they can eat, and then inside guys are decent too. Good defensive front.
All right, thanks.
Okay, guys, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ernie.